Well, hi, everyone. This is Jerry Doggett along with Vin Scully. Here we are at the Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta for the game between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves. This broadcast is presented with the permission of the Los Angeles Dodgers Incorporated. Any reproduction or rebroadcast without the express written permission of the Los Angeles Dodgers Incorporated is prohibited. Here today it is gray and overcast in Georgia, and we have a threat of rain in the air. A possibility that we will get rain before this ball game is over, and the Dodgers, of course, are keeping their fingers crossed that will not happen. This will be the second game of the series. Last night, Al Downing notched his 20th win of the year as the Dodgers won a 2-0 fingernail-type ball game, and the Giants were losing to the Reds 6-5 as the Reds came from behind, and now they've narrowed the gap again to 2. And each club has 5 to play. The Reds are playing the Giants in Cincinnati at the same time we are on, so we'll kind of keep up with that one as we go here today. Pitching today, it will be Don Sutton with a 15-12 record on the year for the Dodgers against Ron Reed, who has won 13 and lost 13, going for Atlanta. Reed lost to the Dodgers last Sunday in Dodger Stadium, and Sutton shut out the Braves in Dodger Stadium in that doubleheader. We'll have the starting lineups and other pregame notes for you right after this message.
You can't stay in bed when you've got that coffee going.
A wife comes in handy on camping trips.
Hey, where'd the kids go?
They're out picking blueberries.
Oh.
Look what the little one brought me.
Oh, boy. Probably ate the ripe one. Is that coffee ready?
Yep.
On a chilly morning in the country, there's no more welcome smell than the aroma of fresh coffee perking. Especially when that coffee tastes just as good as it smells. Warm and deliciously rich. MJB knows how much good coffee means at times like this, so we work hard at making good coffee. That's why you can count on MJB to give you consistently rich, satisfying coffee. That's why MJB never disappoints.
Hey, you guys find any more blueberries?
He's scared. Daddy will go bite me.
Not unless you bother it.
He said it would.
MJB coffee. There's a lot of care in every cup.
Now the batting orders for the ball game today. For the Dodgers, leading off playing shortstop will be Maury Wills. Bill Buckner will bat second and play first base. Willie Davis in center field. Richie Allen will play third base. Manny Mota in left field. Willie Crawford will be the right fielder. Catching for the Dodgers and batting in the 7th spot will be Duke Sims. And playing second base, Bobby Valentine batting 8th. And the pitcher will be right-hander Don Sutton. For the Atlanta Braves, Felix Millan will lead off and play second base. Ralph Garr will be in left field. Henry Aaron at first base. Batting fourth and doing the catching will be Earl Williams. Mike Lum will be playing in right field and batting in the 5th spot. Darrell Evans will be at third base. Evans. Sonny Jackson is the center fielder. At shortstop, batting 8th for Atlanta, Marty Perez. And doing the pitching is the ex-basketball star, Ron Reed. Reed, big 6-footer, 6'5", has won 13 games and lost 13. His earned run average is 3.61. This year against the Dodgers, he is 1-2, and he is 4-3 lifetime. Reed and Sutton hooked up last Sunday in the second game of the doubleheader. Downing in the first game had beaten Necro 12-0, so Sutton came back in the second game, and he also blanked the Braves. So the Dodgers now, with last night's blanking, have blanked Atlanta for 3 straight ball games after losing the first 2 of the series last week in Dodger Stadium. Now Chief Nakahoma takes the field here to lead the Braves out. It's a gray and overcast day in Atlanta. We're keeping our fingers crossed that the weatherman will let us have the ball game to its completion. Nakahoma runs to the mound and does his war dance. The umpires for the ball game today will be Pelikutis at the plate. Wire, Stello, and Crawford will be on the base paths. Meanwhile, at Cincinnati today, the Reds and the Giants, and for the Reds it will be Gullett, and for the Giants it will be John Cumberland, the left-hander. The Reds pulled it out last night, and that really stunned the Giants. They had a 4-0 lead at one stage of the game, wound up losing 6-5, so the Dodgers picked up a full game. The Braves are being introduced as they take the field now, and Ron Reed, the last one, going out to the mound. Aaron at first, Millan at second, And at shortstop is Perez. At third base, Evans. The outfield, Garr in left, Jackson in center, Lum in right, Williams the catcher, and Reed will be doing the pitching. A very fine presentation of our national anthem here in the Atlanta Stadium. A small crowd today. Now standing for the singing of our national anthem with the Georgia State University Choir and Brass Ensemble. Atlanta, Ron Reed getting ready to warm up. Big right-hander, 13-13. He missed most of last year with a shoulder injury, and he has been one of the mainstays of the pitching staff. The Dodgers beat Niekro last night, for only the second time this year, so they have wound up 3-2 with him on the year, Niekro on the long end. Downing, who was the winning pitcher last night with his shutout, will receive 5 $10 books of Union on autoscript for the shutout in last night's game. And for Al, it might be a lot more than that because he now is a 20-game winner for the first time in his career. And Al is only the second 20-game winner in the league. And there are only 3 left-handers who have pitched 20 victories for the Dodgers since they came west, and they're all here in the ballpark. Sandy Koufax here for NBC. Claude Osteen, of course, and Al Downing down in the Dodger dugout. And Osteen will go tomorrow, and he's going to have a big one going up against the Atlanta Braves and their left-hander George Stone. All right, we're all set. Time to play ball. The Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves from the Atlanta Stadium. Ron Reed, who's 6'6", from LaPorte, Indiana, and he is a graduate of Notre Dame. He played pro basketball with the Detroit Pistons for a couple of years, and now he's set to pitch to Dodger leadoff man Maury Wills, the windup, and the first pitch of the game. Maury takes it high for a ball, 1 ball to no strike. Reed on the year has started 31 games. He has completed 8. His earned run average is 3.61. He's allowed 214 hits in 217 innings. Now the pitch on the way to Maury. Up high for a ball, and the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes to Wills. Maury hitting at 278. He's been around the 280 mark most of the year. So Maury up there waiting now. As Reed goes to the windup and his pitch on the way. In for a strike, Maury taking. Evans at third, playing in on the grass. Outfield is almost straight away on Maury. Some clubs will shade him a little more to the left field line. Wills waits. Dodgers trying to hang tight. They trail by 2. Here's the pitch on the way. Maury hits a ground ball to shortstop. Marty Perez gets a nice hop. Throw to Aaron in time, and there's 1 out. So Wills grounds out to open the ball game, and the batter will be Bill Buckner. Buckner hitting 280, 5 home runs and 40 RBIs. He did not get a hit in last night's game. Willie Davis had 2 hits in last night's game. Billy Buckner playing at first base. Again, Walter Austin figuring that he would want to go with Manny Mota in the lineup, and that means that Parker sits down. Here's the pitch on the way, off speed and high. 1 ball and no strike to Buckner. Buckner struck out once last night, one of the few times that he goes down on strike. Billy in what could be considered his freshman year after a couple of appearances last year. Now the pitch on the way to him, swung on a ground ball to the left side. At shortstop, Perez goes to his right, makes his throw, and there are 2 out. 2 up and 2 down on ground balls to short, and that brings to bat Willie Davis. Willie has hit safely in 17 of 18. He has 196 hits now, and he's aiming at the 200 mark. He has 10 home runs and 74 runs batted in. He got his 10th home run last night. He's been on a bit of a home run tear here lately. He had 5 home runs going into September, so he's had 5 this month. Here's the pitch outside for a ball. And check it. It's on the corner for a strike. 0-1 to Willie. Willie Davis at bat. We check back a little bit more. Yes, he had 5 home runs so far this month. Reed checking signs. Now into the windup and the pitch on the way. Low in the dirt for a ball, and the count evens up at 1-1. We will keep you posted as we get the reports in from Cincinnati. The Giants and the Reds playing at the same time we are under about the same weather conditions. Overcast and a threat of rain. There's also, we haven't had too much of a late forecast for tomorrow, but the long-range forecast was for weather okay tomorrow for the ball game. Willie takes away on a high pitch. Ball 2, 2-1. Davis at bat, 2 out in the first inning here in Atlanta. The Dodgers have a team batting average of 266. The Braves have a team batting average of 263. So they're about even there. This next pitch is high and away. And the count to Davis, 3-1. Willie has 25 hits against Atlanta this year for 62 at bats. That's the high total for a Dodger. Allen has 19. 3-1 count. Ron Reed checking signs. Davis waiting. Here's Reed's pitch. Pops up foul. It'll carry off to the left near the Dodger dugout. Chasing it is Evans, and he'll have no play. It's too far to go, and he was saved from the dugout by Bill Sudeikis. It's a long hike from third base into the dugout and from first base into the dugout. The ball hit in front of the Dodger dugout, and as Evans was over there, he almost went into the dugout, and Sudeikis came in there and gave him a helping hand so he wouldn't fall down the steps. 3-2 to Willie Davis. Evans playing third, Perez at short, Mian at second, Aaron at first. Gar, Jackson, and Lum in the outfield. Here's the pitch to Davis. A ground ball hit through the hole to left field for a base hit. So Willie D has 197 of them now as he slices one just beyond third baseman Darrell Evans. And for Willie, he now has hit safely in 18 out of 19. He was stopped in the second game of the series at Cincinnati. So he had built up a streak before he was stopped there. The streak had gone to 16 straight. Then he missed. All right, here is Richie Allen at bat hitting 298. And Richie's goal, of course, is 300. He has a lifetime batting average of 298. So he's right on the button now. Here's the pitch to him. Fastball is a strike on the outside corner. Chris Pellicudis behind the plate. Lee Wire at first. Fellow at second. And Crawford is at third. 0-1 the count with 2 away. Davis at first, a threat to steal. Willie has not run as much this year as he usually does. He has stolen 20, and he has been caught 8 times. Aaron holds him on. Now the pitch on the way. Allen takes strike 2. Letter high fastball, and the count goes to 0-2. Ron Reed doing the work. The Giants have 2 out in the first inning, and Willie Mays is in the ball game, and he walks. So that brings up McCovey. 0-2 the count. Don Gullett against Cumberland in Cincinnati. 0-2 pitch and a throw to first base, and Willie goes back head first. Henry Aaron flips the ball back to the mound to Reed. The game in the first inning, and the Dodgers have 2 out. Bonds is the batter. Here's a swing and a miss, and Allen goes down on strike. Foul kick held on by the catcher. Side retired. Reed strikes out Allen. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. And the score at the end of the half inning of play, Dodgers 0 and the Braves coming up.
A lot of people are economizing these days by sticking pretty close to the family budget. But you know how it is with budgets. Quite often they just aren't geared to take care of, say, a tire that suddenly goes flat or a dying battery. Which means that a nice thing to have is this card and Union 76 revolving credit. Union 76 revolving credit means you get the tires, battery, or other automotive accessories that you need now, conveniently, with no fuss. No 3, 6, or 12-month deadlines to meet. No complicated contracts to sign. It's just like going shopping with a department store credit card, which helps your budgeting enormously, even when the unexpected occurs to your car. So give yourself a little added protection. Drop by your Union 76 dealers and pick up a credit card application. Union 76 is the first major gasoline company throughout the West to offer you revolving credit. It's part of our spirit. The spirit of 76 lives at Union Oil.
Now to the bottom of the first inning with Mian, Gar, and Aaron coming on here against Don Sutton. Sutton, who blanked the Braves on Sunday 4-0, is 2-3 this year and 15-12 on the year. He is 12-7 against the Atlanta Braves lifetime. So Don trying to get it evened up for this year, and he's pitching, of course, one of the big ball games of his career. Duke Sims will be the catcher. Buckner at first. Valentine at second. Wills is at short, and at third base, Allen. The outfield is Mota in left. Davis in center, and Crawford is around in right field. Bobby Bonds struck out, so the Giants failed to score in their turn at bat in the first inning against young Don Gullet. Now we're ready to go to the bottom of the first here with Felix Millan coming on. All-star second baseman for the Atlanta Braves. He hit .310 last year, a lifetime batting average of .284, and this year he's hitting .288. So Don Sutton ready with his first pitch of the game, the windup, and down it comes. Fastball is a strike, 0-1. Felix Millan is from Puerto Rico, 5'11", 170-pounder. He came to the Braves in 1966. Next pitch, curve up high for a ball. He became the regular second baseman in 1968, and he hit .289, then .267, and then .310. Fine fielder, right-hand batter, chokes up on the bat, tough man to strike out. Sutton ready, the 1-1 pitch. Fastball is on the corner for a strike, and it is 1-2. Don Sutton trying to match the performance of Al Downing. Last Sunday, he had a tough act to follow and did it. And now today, he has a tough act to follow, and he's trying to do it again. Tomorrow, it'll be Osteen against Stone in the finale of the series. Here's the pitch. Fouled away as he checked his swing. The ball hit the bat and bounces back off the Sims glove to the backstop. Millan last year in a ball game against the Giants went 6-for-6. That has been done once this year by Don Kessinger of the Chicago Cubs. 1-2 count. Sutton ready to go. The windup in the pitch by Don. Fastball popped up on the first base side. Over goes Sims, and now Buckner calling, and Billy Buck makes the catch. So Buckner calling Sims off the play, handles the foul ball, and we have one out. Millan fouls out. The batter now will be Ralph Garr. Garr hitting .339 with 9 home runs and 41 runs batted in. He's the road runner, Ralph Garr, who loves the bunt, and he is doing a great job with that bat. Garr on the year has 212 hits, and this is his first regular season, although he has played a few games prior to this year. He's been in 70 games in 3 years before this season began, so he did not qualify as a rookie. So, boy, this is his first full season replacing Rico Carty, the batting champion in left field, and he has more than held his own at that job. He can fly. He loves to bunt. Allen is way in on the grass at third now against the left-hand batter. Sutton's pitch. He lobs one up there, and it's missed the outside corner. So Sutton with an exaggerated changeup, and it goes as a ball 1 count. Garr, a speedster, stole 39 bases at Richmond last year and 63 in 1969. 1-0 count. Now the windup and the pitch on the way. Fastball, foul back, and the count 1-1. No score at Cincinnati. The Giants went out in the first inning with a base runner, Mays, on a walk. They have Gullet going against Cumberland, second game of the series. Tomorrow, Marischal will go against Gary Nolan. There are 2 out for the Reds in the bottom of the first inning. Ralph Garr stepping in. Garr waits, Sutton checking. Bottom of the first, 1 out. Now the windup by Don, and the pitch on the way off speed, and he pops this one foul down to the Dodger dugout, and it'll be out of play. So a ball and 2 strikes with Garr waiting. New supply of baseballs carried to the home plate umpire, Chris Pelakudis. Tomorrow will be our final road game of the regular season. The Dodgers will open their final homestand of the regular schedule on Tuesday. The Astros are in Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The final 3, and of course, those could be very interesting and could be very exciting. The Dodgers can keep the race going, and they're sure trying to do that as they play here in Atlanta. Garr calls time and backs out. Now he's in there again. On deck is Henry Aaron. Here's the pitch, swung on a fly ball to center field. Davis coming up for it, and he makes a dive at it. Came up with the ball. Willie slipped at the last moment, made a dive, and still was able to handle it. So a lunging catch by Davis on a sinking liner into center field for the second out. A good play by Willie. Before we see Aaron, we'll pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
The good son. KTAR Phoenix.
Here is Aaron at bat, and the first blood has come out of Cincinnati as Lee May hits the first inning home run, and the Reds lead 1-0. Aaron at bat hitting .329. Here's Sutton's windup, and the pitch on the way is in there for a strike, 0-1. Aaron with 638 lifetime home runs. He has reached the seasonal high for his career at 46. And and he has 117 RBIs. So Aaron is at bat. His goal this year is 50. He has 4 games to go. 2 here and 2 against the Reds next week. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the way. Lobbed in for a strike. Sutton with an exaggerated change. That's the second time he's thrown that ball. He threw one to Garr and now to Aaron, and he got that one in for a strike. Aaron laid off of it. That was something Sutton has not used before. Almost a lob up there. A very exaggerated slow pitch. Haven't seen that one. Here's the pitch on the way. High for a ball. And it's 1-2. The Reds go down in the first inning, but they got a home run by Lee May, and they lead 1-0. So the Reds lead the Giants 1-0 at the end of an inning. Here's Sutton's pitch to Aaron. Fastball swung on him. That's strike 3. Struck him out. He did a pretty good job of pitching to Aaron that time. Side retired as Sutton gets his first strikeout of the game. The Braves are gone 1-2-3. And the score at the end of 1 inning of play. Dodgers nothing, Braves nothing.
Schlitz, Milwaukee in the world. Life's a one-time thing. Nobody gets a second chance. So you live it with all the gusto you can, right down to the beer you drink. Why settle for less? When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
Reminder of the big series coming up when the Dodgers get back home, and fan appreciation night at Dodger Stadium with more than 200 prizes for Dodger fans on the final night game of the season on the Thursday night, the 30th. Fan appreciation night. Get your tickets and be out. Should be a big crowd and a big ball game. We hope to see you there. Here's Willie Crawford at bat now as Ron Reed gets set to work. Crawford is batting in the 5th spot, and Manny Mota will be batting next. We had them reversed in the lineups that we gave to you. Mota next, and then Sims. Here's a high bouncer up the first baseline. Reed comes over to play it, and the ball bounces foul. So Crawford comes back to try it again. Crawford batting .279 with 9 home runs and 39 runs batted in. For the Giants in the 2nd inning, Dave Kingman, who is playing at first base and batting 5th, opens up with a 2-base hit against Gullett. So apparently McCovey is not playing today. Mays is. So Charlie Fox trying to get the most mileage he can out of his 2 stars, Mays and McCovey. Mays has been resting, and now it's McCovey's turn. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Crawford takes outside. Ball 1. 1-2 to Willie Crawford. No score here. The Reds lead the Giants 1-0 at the end of an inning in Cincinnati. Crawford waiting. Here's the pitch on the way. A ground ball to the right side. Going wide is Aaron, and first base is open. If Millan fields the ball and throws to Reed covering. So we have 1 away as Crawford grounds out Millan to Reed. Aaron went for the ball, saw that Millan was going to play it, so he stayed away and let Reed take the throw at first base. We have the report from Cincinnati that McCovey's knee is acting up again. And of course, Willie has 2 problems. The hand that had 8 stitches and the knee that requires a brace all the time, and it acts up on him, and he has to take a rest every now and then. So he rests today after playing a night game last night. Mota at bat, and the pitch to Mota is high and inside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to Manny Mota. Duke Sims on deck. Ron Reed checking signs again now. Mota right-hand batter. .317 average, 33 RBIs. Line foul back into the wire, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. A gray day here in Atlanta, and the crowd not too large. They had 9,000 last night. The Braves are going to be maybe just a little shy of the million mark. They have never played to less than 1 million here since they've come to Georgia. This is their 6th year in Georgia. 1-1 the count to Manny Mota. Here's the windup now, and the pitch by Reed to Mota off speed, and he got the outside corner, strike two. Change up by Reed. 1-2 count. To repeat, the Reds, a home run by Lee May in the first inning, lead the Giants 1-0. Now the pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, and Mota goes down on strike. So Reed gets his second strikeout. Manny Mota strikes out. And now that brings up Duke Sims batting .263, 3 home runs and 19 runs batted in. Sims caught Sutton against Reed in Los Angeles, and he hit a home run off Reed in the 5th inning. So Duke is up there now. He has 3 home runs on the year with 19 RBIs. And Ron Reed, the big tall right-hander, checking signs. Pitch on the way. Off speed, high. Ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. The Dodgers have been as close as a half a game to the Giants, and that was a technicality. After the day game of the 16th, last Thursday, the Giants lost. The Dodgers went to Dodger Stadium to play San Diego, and they were half a game behind, but they lost the game and fell back to 1 game. And then they lost again to the Braves 2 more in a row and fell down as far as 3 after the Giants won the 2 games in Houston. And now the Dodgers winning last night while the Giants lose, and the gap is narrowed to 2. The time is on the side of the Giants. The Dodgers trying to cut that down. Fastball up the knees for a strike, 2-1. There are 5 games left, including today's action for both teams. The Giants go to San Diego to wind up. The Dodgers go home to wind up against Houston. Now the 2-1 pitch. Low again, ball 3, and it's 3-1. The Dodgers figure to see Don Wilson in one of the games in Houston and Jack Billingham. And we'd be undecided about the other one and guessing perhaps Don Blasingame would be one. And the Giants, of course, figure to see Roberts, Kirby, and probably Arlen. Here's ball 4 to Sims, curveball at his knees, and he's on with a walk. So there's the first walk given up by Reed, and the batter will be Bobby Valentine, hitting in the 8th spot. Valentine last night had 1 base hit. He's playing at second base, and the Dodgers now are becoming impressed with the way the young man is playing at second. He hasn't played very many games out there, but he has good range and moves around quite well, so they like his mobility at second. All right, 2 outs, 1 on. And here's Reed ready to pitch to Bobby. Line drive, 1 hop to Millan. Up with it, plays to second base for the 4th there to retire the side. So Valentine grounds into a 4th out. The Dodgers are down in the second, no runs, no hits, and a man left, and the score at the end of an inning and a half. Dodgers nothing, Braves nothing.
Since the Dodgers were born and raised in Brooklyn, you can't call them native Westerners, but they're like most of us. But believe me, we soon become as Western as families who've lived here for generations. We're mighty proud we have mountains, lakes, an ocean, and mild weather that is the envy of our friends back east. And we also have some little extras that all add up to our wonderful Western way of life. Now, I'd like to include in the list Farmer John's fabulous bacon. Oh, sure, you can get bacon elsewhere that's mighty good. In fact, Farmer John gets the pork for his bacon in the famous Eastern Corn Belt. But only here can you enjoy bacon with the genuine flavor of the West. Farmer John bacon starts off the day for more Western families than any other. And it's not a frequent visitor at your breakfast table. Why, you're just not enjoying life true Western style. Farmer John bacon won the gold medal at the California State Fair. And as we often say, it's the easternmost in quality and the westernmost in flavor.
We'll go along into the bottom of the second inning, and at Cincinnati there are 2 outs, and Kingman is at first base, inspired, being intentionally walked, and Gullett is pitching to Cumberland now, the pitcher for the Giants. Kingman at second base, inspired at first base for the Giants. The Dodgers, on the road this year, have won 45 and lost 34. The Giants now on the road have won 34 and lost 40. They have concluded their home schedule where they won 51 and lost 30. So they were a great home club. The Dodgers at home have won 40 and lost 38. The Dodgers again here on the road are trying to catch up. On this trip, they stand 1 win and 2 losses. It's a 5-game trip, of course. 2 in Cincinnati they lost, and they won last night. And now here is Earl Williams coming up, hitting .261. The Giants finish up on the road. They have 5 road games left. The Dodgers have 2 and the 3 at home, but their home record's not too impressive, so you can't say that it's really an advantage. The way things go now, they just have to play and hope to win every time they go out there. Cumberland strikes out, so the Giants are gone in the second inning, and the end of 1.5, 1-0. Reds lead the Giants on a home run by Lee May. First pitch to Williams comes in high, 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Here's the windup now, and the pitch by Don Sutton. A swing and a miss at a good breaking ball. Strike one. 1-1 to Earl. 261 batting average, 33 home runs and 85 runs batted in, and he looks like a lock to be the Rookie of the Year. Al Downing looks like a cinch to be the Comeback Player of the Year, and he is in the running for the Cy Young Award after his 20 wins now. Off-speed pitch, a high fly ball into center field, playable. Willie Davis in a few steps, pops the glove, looks up into the gray overcast, makes the catch for the out, one away. One down, the batter will be Mike Lum. Friends, here's a chance to help fight air pollution without paying a high price for it. Fill up with low-lead regular 76, the anti-pollution gasoline, at your Union 76 dealers now. Here is Mike Lum, young outfielder who is really becoming an impressive hitter. He's hitting .273 with 13 home runs and 55 runs batted in. He's from Hawaii, from Honolulu. Fastball is a strike, 0-1. Lum hit the ball hard last night into a line drive double play with the bases loaded. He hit the ball right at Billy Buckner, who doubled Aaron off second. He'd had that ball over a little bit. He'd have been the hero of the game last night. There's a foul out of play, and it is strike two to Mike Lum. Don Sutton has a big pass list when he comes to Atlanta. Family and relatives and friends from the area here in the Southland, from Clio, Alabama, and also all the way from Florida. Speaking of Florida, the Dodgers are glad to welcome Dick Bird, director of Dodger Town. He and his lovely wife are up from Vero Beach to visit the Dodgers and wish them well here in the series, and reports that things are coming along fine in Dodger Town. Golf course is in good shape. New buildings going up. The 1-2 pitch to Lum. Struck him out. Blazing fastball. Down goes Lum. Strikeout number 2 for Don Sutton. The batter will be Evans. On a gray day like this, and both pitchers can throw pretty good, it'll be a little tough for the hitters to pick it up. It's a comfortable day to play. Temperature would be, I would guess, somewhere in the low 70s, and no humidity. Last night, very warm and humid. Here is Darrell Evans at bat, the young man from Pasadena, hitting .242. He hit 2 home runs against the Dodgers last week. Now Sutton's wind up and pitch. Darrell takes high, ball 1. Evans has 11 home runs and 37 runs batted in. He is being platooned at third base. He plays against the right-handers, and Versailles plays against left-handers. 1-0 count. Now again the wind-up and the pitch on the way. In for a strike, and it is 1-1. By winning last night, the Dodgers assured themselves of a finish of at least second. They have locked out the Braves from any chance of overhauling them now. They are 5.5 ahead of the Braves. The Braves have only 4 games left. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Curve high for a ball. The Braves, though, are looking over their shoulder at the Red Hot Reds. Cincinnati moving up quickly, and they're trying to catch them. The Reds are only 2 games behind the Braves, and the Reds have really made a great run here in the month of September. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fastball, and it's pulled foul down in the stands in right field, out of play, and it's a 2-2 count. The Dodgers in the month of September have won 14 games and lost 8. The Giants have won 8 and lost 14. We'll check the Reds record for you in a moment. All right, Don Sutton rubs off a sign, gets a new one. Now the pitch on the way. Fastball high, 3-2. So the Reds are 10-10 in the month of September. This is a better pace than they had most of the year. Here's the pitch. He struck him out. Good curveball, and down goes Evans. The side retires as Don Sutton gets his 3rd strikeout. They're all out. And the score at the end of 2 innings of play, Dodgers nothing, Braves nothing.
The next best thing to visiting Europe or the Orient is your own exotic shopping excursion through Tang's Imports. And you don't have to go through customs. Tang's Imports, where you'll find thousands of exciting and unique handmade items created by skilled craftsmen from over 40 different countries. And from now through Christmas, Tang's Imports will absorb the new 10% surcharge on all imported items. For example, taxi horns from India at $7.95, waterbeds as low as $19.87, piñatas from Mexico only $2.99, stainless steel wok from Japan just $4.99, and Danish-style clogs $4.99, all at pre-surcharge prices. Tang's Imports, with 3 convenient departure points in the Valley of the Sun for your exotic excursion. In Tempe on Apache Boulevard, and in Phoenix in Town and Country Shopping Center, or West Bethany Home Road in 27th Avenue. Tang's Imports, for an excursion into the exotic.
At Cincinnati, Hal McRae and George Foster have hit back-to-back home runs, and the Reds lead 3-0 over the Giants. George Cumberland, after giving up a home run to McRae, decked Foster, and he came back and bombed the next one for a home run. For the Southern California boy, ex-Giant, gets a little revenge there, and he was knocked down and came right back up and hit a home run, and so it is now 3-0 on back-to-back home runs by McRae and by Foster. All right, let's go to the third inning with Don Sutton facing Ron Reed, and they've turned the lights on here in Atlanta. Here's the pitch to Sutton, a high pop fly on the right side. Neon backing up, calling as he goes out into the outfield. And it's one out as Sutton pops out. So the Reds have hit 3 bombs against the Giants so far and lead them 3-0. Home runs by May, McRae, and Foster. Here's Wills at bat now. Wills grounded to short first time up. Ron Reed ready and the pitch on the way. High for a ball. The Dodgers have 1 hit. The Braves do not have a hit. The Dodger hit a single by Davis. 1 out here in the third. So the Reds, who demolished the Dodgers a 2-game series, are now trying to shake up the Giants. They really shook them last night by coming from behind and winning 6-5. Here's a fastball for a strike to Wills. The count is 1-1. There are 2 outs now in the second inning for the Reds, and they lead 3-0. 1-1. Pitch to Wills. Low and away with a fastball. 2-1. Ron Reed, 13 wins, 13 losses on the year, and an earned run average of 361. For Ron, this will probably be his last start of the year, since the Braves have only 4 left. That pitch is a strike to Wills, 2-2. Morey laid off the fastball up and away, hit the outside corner. 2-2 the count with 1 out. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way now. Wills takes high with the slider, 3-2. The Reds are out in the second and lead now 3-0 at the end of 2 innings of play. 3-2. Line drive along the left field line. It's going to be in for a base hit. Ralph Garr over to cut it off. Wills turns and he holds on with a long single down to the left field corner. So Wills, a 1-out single to left, and the batter will be Billy Buckner. Buckner has grounded to short his first time up. Billy Buck hitting .280 with 5 home runs and 40 runs batted in. Twice this year, Buckner has had 5 RBI games. 5 RBIs in a game twice. He's up now. Did not get a hit last night, and he's up here now in the third inning with a man on at first base and 1 out. Wills has not been doing much running. He has 14 steals in 22 tries. Throw to first base, and he's back under Aaron's tag. Reed will try to keep him tied up now as he's in a running situation. Here's the look and the pitch on the way to Buckner. Fastball is a strike, and it is 0-1. Reed can throw it pretty hard. The lights are on in Atlanta on a gray afternoon. You can actually feel the warmth of the lights as they've been turned on now to begin this inning. Gray overcast day. We're keeping our fingers crossed against rain for this series. Here's a throw to first base, and it's not in time. They had a delay here in a Giant series of over 2 hours. The late innings. So they would wait a long time at this stage of the season. Buckner takes outside with a fastball, 1-1. Bill playing first base. Parker sitting it out. Mota is in the outfield. To repeat, the Reds are playing long ball against the Giants and lead them 3-0 at the end of 2 innings of play. That pitch is high and away. 2-1. 2-1 to Buckner with Willie Davis on deck. The home runs by May, McRae, and Foster against Cumberland, with Don Gullett pitching for Cincinnati. Now Reed with a turn and a throw to first base, and Wills with a short lead just hops back on the bag. No runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers, and nothing for the Braves. Another throw to first. This time, Reed was trying to catch Wills wandering off as he made a quick turn from off the rubber. Morey again hops up and moves away. Aaron holds him on. There he goes. Pitch swung on and popped up foul. Off the third base side, there'll be a play on it as Evans goes through the coaching line, loses his cap, and catches the ball. So they play it hit and run, and Buckner fouls out. 2 down, and Willie Davis, the batter. Willie with 10 home runs, 74 runs batted in, has a base hit to give him 18 out of 19. And Willie now is at 197 base hits. The high for a Los Angeles Dodger to Tommy Davis back in 1962. He had 230. So Davis up now with 2 out, and Wills at first base. We'll see if they send him again now. Put a play on with Davis up and Allen to follow. Here's Reed's pitch. High for a ball. 1 ball, no strike. For the Giants in the third inning with 1 away, Tito Fuentes has doubled. Tito had a rough night last night. He dropped a double play ball, and that gave the Reds a chance to tie the ball game, which they promptly did. And he also did not run out a couple of ground balls, so they were all over him. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Davis takes high again. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 count. The tying run was walked in by Jerry Johnson last night, and that's an unusual thing. Might have been that he wanted to wind up and then wasn't sure whether he should wind up or go from a stretch with runners at second and third, so he balked. That tied the score. 2-0 count. Wills dances off first and draws a throw from Reed, and he's back easily. It's brighter now with the lights on. That really helps. And we'll hope the skies will brighten up a little later, too, now. The Dodgers play here tomorrow and then fly back to Los Angeles Monday and open date, and the Big 3 coming up with Houston Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Again a throw to first, and Wills again back with a hand. So Davis backs out. Reed keeps throwing to first base with Wills on there. 2-0 the count to Davis. Hit a home run to right field for the first run last night, then scored the second run. Here's a fastball for a strike, 2-1. Willie singled in the 7th inning, then when Allen hit a bouncing ball toward Mian, the Braves said that Mian was interfered with by Davis, who actually went behind him. And then Davis able to take third and scored on the double play. That was the Dodgers' second run, so Willie scored both runs last night. Here's the pitch on the way, 2-1, pop foul, back into the stands, and it's a 2-2 count. Bobby Bonds has doubled to drive in a run in Cincinnati. Bonds drives in Fuentes, and it's now a 3-1 ball game in favor of the Reds. A double by Bonds and a double by Fuentes. All right, a 2-2 count now. Davis waiting with Wills on at first base, 2 out. Ron Reed checking signs. Here's the pitch in the dirt, knocked down by Williams. It'll be 3-2. Kingman is at bat for the Giants now, when he represents the tying run. He doubled his first time up. So Gullett has allowed 3 doubles to the Giants. And 1 run now. Three and 2 with 2 outs. Wills away from first. Here's a ground ball to Aaron. Knocks it down, up with it. On the other hand, throw to first is in time. And the out recorded there as Davis grounds to Aaron, who feeds into the pitcher's covering. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on. The score at the end of 2.5 innings of play. Dodgers nothing, Atlanta nothing.
What kind of a man runs a Union 76 station? Well, we have to admit Union Oil is mighty particular. Besides looking for a man with a good head for business, a knowledgeable man who knows cars and car products, Union Oil wants a man who genuinely, honestly likes what he's doing. You see, they know that the man who's happy in his work brings that added something to the job every day that makes doing business with him a pleasure. That extra something that brings you back again and again for Union 76 products. So drive in where you see the big orange 76 ball. It stands for quality in gasoline, motor oil, tires, service, and something else. Something Union Oil considers their most important product. Spirit. The spirit of 76 lives at Union Oil.
At Cincinnati, the Giants have a rally going. 3 doubles in the inning now. Kingman doubles to drive in another run, and it is a 3-2 ball game, so the Giants trying to get off the floor in that one and have Dick Dietz at bat with Kingman on second base. And Don Gullett having a little trouble over there today. He has allowed 4 doubles now, and 3 of them in this inning. The top of the third, good for 2 runs, and he has Dietz at bat. Dietz playing with 11 stitches in his head. All right, here's Sonny Jackson at bat now as we play on the bottom of the third, and Don Sutton ready to go. Jackson hitting .262, and against the Dodgers, he's just wearing them out this year. Sonny Jackson. There's a swing and a foul chopped off to the right. Jackson has 20 hits in 45 trips against the Dodgers, which figures out to a .444 average. Against the league, he's hitting .262, so he's 180 points better against the Dodgers than against the rest of the guys. So he's in there today. 1 strike count. Here's the windup and the pitch. Curve is high. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Sonny Jackson with Perez and Reed to follow. No score here, and it is 3-2. The Reds lead the Giants at Cincinnati in the third inning. Fastball is a strike on the inside corner. And it is 1-2 now to Sonny Jackson. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now Sutton working ahead of the count here to Jackson. And the pitch on the way. Popped up foul down the left field line. That's going to slice out of play down around the bullpen area. So the count to Jackson stays at 1-2. Dietz has walked, so now the Giants have 2 men on. His third walk from Gullett. So Gullett is having a few problems there. He was really flawless against the Dodgers, but he is in trouble now in the third inning in Cincinnati. Don Gullett, the young left-hander. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Just inside. Sims started to throw the ball around. 2-2 to Jackson. Sutton's fastball just missed picking up the inside corner. Alan Gallagher is the batter for the Reds now in the third inning. Rose handles a foul ball from Gallagher, the side out, and the Giants settle for 2 runs in the third, and the score at the end of it, 2.5. Reds 3, Giants 2. Here's a ground ball, base hit to right field for Sonny Jackson. Boy, he's something. That's his 21st hit against the Dodgers. Sonny Jackson is on, and he has 46 at bat. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
The Good Son. KTAR Phoenix.
Here's Marty Perez at bat now as Jackson gets the first hit of the game for the Braves. Perez, a right-handed hitting shortstop with a .228 average, and he has 4 home runs. Jackson on first. He's butting. It's up the first baseline, rolling foul. Sutton goes over to field it. And back to first base comes Sonny Jackson. So Jackson, 21 hits. He's only played in 12 games against the Dodgers. So he's had nearly an average of 2 a game. Aaron has 20 hits in 14 games, and Gar has 21 hits in 16 games. Mian 21 hits in 16 games, but here's 21 in 12 games. Throw to first base. And back. Jackson back. All right, Perez waiting and not bunting, takes a strike. 0-2. Good breaking ball. All right, Don Sutton working. Dodgers played the infield double play depth. Allen, Wills, Valentine, and Buckner. Jackson on at first base, and the pitcher Ron Reed due up next. Here's a throw to first. Oh, 1-2 count to Perez. He is from Fresno, former Angel player in their organization. Struck him out. Blazing fastball. Boy, Sutton is throwing hard. 4 strikeouts for Don. That's one away as Perez goes down on strikes, and Reed will be the batter. No score, 2 hits for the Dodgers and 1 for Atlanta as Reed comes up, and we'll see if the butt is on now with the pitcher. Reed has 11 hits. He's hitting 151 on the year, 3 RBI. He does not have an extra base hit. So they expect a bunt from the pitcher, Reed, with Mian on deck and Jackson at first. He bunts and misses. Foul tipped it into Sims' glove. Strike 1. Strike 1 count to Reed. Now again the look. Allen way in on top of the plate. Now the bunt is on down the first baseline to Buckner. Picks it up and tags Reed, and down to second goes Jackson on the sacrifice. So Reed sacrifices and Buckner tags him. So he gets the runner over. And here's Mian at bat. He fouled out his first time up. So Mian will be the batter. Mian stepping in. The Braves have a runner in scoring position. The Dodgers have not had a man to second base. They've had Davis and Wills at first. Davis in the first inning and Wills in the third. The Reds have 2 down in the third inning. The Braves have 2 down, and the runner at second base as Mian takes a curve strike, 0-1. One count, no score here, 3-2. Cincinnati leads the Giants in the bottom of the third at Cincinnati. And they play once more tomorrow. And then it goes back to California to be decided perhaps. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on and that's strike 2. Good breaking ball by Don Sutton. 0-2 the count with 2 out. Mian really lunged at that one. The ball game is in the third inning, last half. And it's starting out to be another tight pitching duel as last night, Downing and Niekro, and today Sutton and Reed, and tomorrow Osteen and Stone, the battle of left-handers. All right, Sutton checks. 0-2 count, trying to be careful now with the dangerous hitter Mian up there. He's a slap hitter. Here's the 0-2 pitch to him. Line drive to left field. It'll be a base hit. Here's the runner turning third. Here's Moda throw to the plate. It's going to be too high. The runner's in. Down to second base goes Jackson. The throw goes by all the way to the backstop. And down to third is Mian. As Jackson scores, Braves lead 1-0. A line single by Mian over shortstop into left field. And he advances 2 bases on Moda's high throw home. So a single for Mian to drive in the run. And it is 1-0. Atlanta leads, and over at third base is Felix Mian. And an error on Manny Mota, throwing error, all the way over Sims' head to the backstop. So Mota trying to take dead aim on speedy Sonny Jackson, running with 2 out, and he threw the ball too high, didn't have a chance. And Mian kept going and wound up at third base, and here's Ralph Garr at bat, and Sutton is in trouble. A run in and a runner at third, and 2 out. Garr up, and Allen will play in on the grass to guard against the bunt. Garr lined out to center his first time up. Sutton's pitch to him. Curve inside for ball. The key to the inning, though, Sonny Jackson, the leadoff batter, who now has 21 hits against the Dodgers, and he opened it up with a single into right field. The Reds went out in the third at the end of 3. The Reds 3, the Giants 2. Pitch to Garr. Swung on and missed. 1-1. So with 2 away here, Mian singles to drive in the first run of the game. And the first run the Braves have scored against the Dodgers in 3 games. They were blank 3 consecutive games. And now with 2 out, Mian a line single to left. And Sutton was ahead of the count. But Mian choked up on the bat, and he's a tough hitter. He does not strike out much, and he got the base hit. Here's the pitch. Garr takes low for a ball, and the count 2-1. Looming on deck is Henry Aaron. And Sutton trying to bow his neck now and get Garr for the 3rd out and prevent any further damage. The Reds are leading. The Braves are leading. The Giants and the Dodgers are behind by a run now. Time is on the side of the Giants. The game's left. Column 5 to play, including this one. Now the 2-1 pitch to Garr. Swung on and missed, and he lost his hat. Boy, he goes all the way around. He really has a cut at it. 2-2, the count to Gar. He really is an emotional player. At least he uses a lot of expression. You know, he's out there. He shakes his head. He walks back. He grabs dirt. He really shows his emotions. All right, a 2-2 count. Don Sutton tried to get him for the third out. He couldn't get Mian, who singled, to drive in the run, and Mian stands at third now. Don Sutton ready to go with it. Here's the windup, and the 2-2 pitch on the way. Line drive to left, a base hit. The run is in, and the Braves lead 2-0. And Sutton got a fastball up, and he slapped it to left field. Well, Don got that one up on a 2-2 count. And both times to Mian and to Gar, he has 2-strike count, and he can't get them. So the Braves score twice, and here's Thad Henry coming up now. He struck out his first time up. So Aaron, the batter, with Williams to follow, and with 2 outs, singles by Mian and Gar have produced 2 runs. The error now makes that run unearned as of now. You would assume that Mian would have gone to second on the throw to the plate, but you can't assume that he would have scored. He was at third base and scored easily, of course, after the error. The pitch to Aaron is down low, ball 1. So the Dodgers are down by 2 now here in Atlanta in the third inning. As Gar, with a 2-2 count, lines a single to left. And Sutton's luck is running bad right now. Throw to first base not in time. He appears to be throwing hard and throwing well, but he made that pitch up a little bit to Gar, and he stroked it to left. Now Aaron at bat, and he can't afford a mistake here. There's a drive to left. Mota coming up for it, and he has it. And the inning is over. That ball hit hard. Aaron lines to left. The side retired. 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 error, and 1 man left on. So we've gone through 3 innings. Vin Scully will be along with more play in the fourth. The score, Atlanta 2 and the Dodgers nothing.
Schlitz, Milwaukee in the world. One life to live, you live it to the hilt. Because second chances are never handed out. So you go for the gusto in life, and you take your pleasures where you find them. Like Schlitz. Why settle for less? When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
Well, everybody, and a very pleasant good day to you, wherever you may be. As we go to the fourth inning, the Braves are leading the Dodgers 2-0. 2 runs, 3 hits for Atlanta. No runs, 2 hits, and an error for the Dodgers. Trying to come back against Ron Reed, the Dodgers will have Richie Allen, Willie Crawford, and Manny Mota. Ron Reed submarines Allen, and the first pitch is swung on and missed, 0-1. The Giants are at bat in the fourth inning at Riverfront Stadium. The Reds are leading 3-2. Ron Reed strike 1 pitch over the top, and Allen chases that one. Richie struck out in the first inning, so he's gone after a bad ball in the count 0-2. Allen started the day at .298, 22 home runs, 89 runs batted in. Reed's tough. He's allowed just 2 hits. Over the top and missed inside with it. Ball 1. 1-2. The Reds had 3 home runs, all with the bases empty, by Lee May, Hal McRae, and George Foster. For the Giants, on some doubles, got back in the game with 2, and they're now in the fourth inning. Allen takes high, ball 2. The Giants went out in order in the fourth inning, so the Reds are at bat in the bottom of the fourth, leading the Giants 3-2. But even if the Giants lose, the important thing, the Dodgers must win. The pitch to Allen is high, ball 3. The so-called magic number is a combination of Giant victories and or Dodger defeats. So the Dodgers are running out of time, and the only solution, they must win and the Giants must lose. Here's the 3-2 pitch. sidearmer inside, and he's lost him. So ball 4, Richie Allen to first base. When you make up your weekly shopping lineup, be sure to include the pork products from Farmer John. You just can't match them for freshness and flavors. Willie Crawford now trying to move Richie Allen around. Hits a high, bounce it down to Perez. He flips back to Millan, and he throws high, pulling Aaron off the bag at first base. So Crawford hits into a force play, 6-4. And with one out, Manny Mota coming up. Mota was put in the lineup over Wes Parker. That's really how it boiled down. But he was 0-for-4 last night. Hit into a double play, struck out today, and has made a throwing error. 2-0 Atlanta, 1 out in the 4th inning. Ron Reed working for the Braves. Big right-hander set at the belt and drives Crawford back with a throw to first. Crawford has stolen 4 bases in 5 attempts. Reed at the belt, side armor, and misses low and inside. 1-0, the count to Manny Mota. Earl Williams wants to talk to Reed. Fastball is inside, and I think it hit Mota's bat as he tried to get out of the way. 1 ball and 1 strike. The scoreboard shows 2-0, but I think it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Yep, that's what it is. 1-1. Braves 2 runs, 3 hits. Dodgers no runs, 2 hits, and an error. Crawford at first base, held on by Henry Aaron. Reed ready, over the top fastball and a half swing foul outside of first. 1-2. Mota not taking a good cut yet. Nothing Atlanta in the 4th. 3-2 Cincinnati in the bottom of the 4th in their game with the Giants. Reed turns and lobs a throw to Henry Aaron. Crawford hops back on the bag. Kind of a gray day here in Atlanta. And the same story in Cincinnati. No blue skies anywhere as far as this pennant race is concerned. They're talking about a 60% chance of rain in Cincinnati. Mota drives one to left center field, and there's nobody there. That's going to go to the fence, bouncing against the fence. Crawford will score easily. Mota stumbles. He's on his way for 3. Perez's throw. He's in there. The ball gets away from Evans with Mota holding at third base. Reed recovers. So Manny Mota comes up with a big drive up the alley for a triple. And the Dodgers now have the tying run at third base. Timeout for the moment while Mota dusts himself off at third. Mota stumbled rounding second base. This ballpark is in terrible condition. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. And Mota almost fell on his ear rounding second. So here is Duke Sims trying to pick him up. The infield is up. Sims has 19 RBIs, and if he gets 20, the Dodgers are even. Reed delivers, change, outside, ball 1. So the tying run 90 feet away with 1 out in the 4th inning. Atlanta 2, Dodgers 1. And Duke Sims trying to come up with a big RBI. Infield all up. Reed at the belt. The 1-0 pitch to Sims. Fastball for a strike, and the count 1-1. Aaron, Millan, Perez, and Evans all crowding up. Braves leading 2-1. Mota has tripled home one, and he's waiting to be picked up at third base. Reed looks at him. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball for a strike. 1-2. Mota watching Reed. You might remember that Willie Crawford stole home against Reed in the 2nd inning of the doubleheader last Sunday. Mota watching him as he walks down the line, but Reed pitching from a stretch to cut down that possibility. Big pitch to Duke Sims. Change over his head. Ball 2. 2-2 to the Duke. Steve Barber throwing in the Braves bullpen. Reed straightens up, stares at Mota. The pitch to Sims. A change and a one-hopper smothered by Aaron. Steps on the bag, and Mota has to stay at third. So Sims hit the changeup right at Aaron. So there's a big out. Sims unable to get the tying run home, and with 2 out, Bobby Valentine the batter. Valentine hit into a force play in the second inning. Valentine 0 for 1. Reed out of a stretch, and the pitch in the dirt. A nice save by Earl Williams. 1 ball and no strikes to Bobby. Don Sutton on deck. The Reds are at bat in the bottom of the 4th. They have a runner at first with 2 outs, leading the Giants 3-2. 1 ball and no strikes to Bobby Valentine. Reed comes back, and is a high pop fly. Felix Millan, backed up by Mike Lum, but it's Millan for the catch. So the Dodgers came close, but close, not good enough. They lead Manny Mota at third base. 1 run, 1 hit. The end of 3.5 innings, Atlanta 2 and the Dodgers 1.
What do your little leaguers order when you treat them to dinner at a fancy restaurant? Well, chances are they'll ask for hot dogs. To almost every youngster, there's some marvelous magic about a wiener bundled in a bun. And when the wiener's from Farmer John, it's even more fun. Farmer John smokes his wieners like he does his famous bacon over native western wood to give them a wild and wonderful western flavor kids really dig. And as a parent, you should be glad that Farmer John wieners are such favorites. Every plump, juicy morsel is all meat, and the best meat, to provide good, protein-rich nourishment. If your children haven't tried Farmer John wieners, pick up a package soon. Look for extra-long Farmer John wieners, too. We call them Dodger dogs at the ballpark, and except for their 10-inch size, they're the same as regular Farmer John wieners. But whichever you choose, you pick the winner, because both kinds won gold medals at the California State Fair. Farmer John wieners and extra-long Farmer John wieners.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Braves 2, Dodgers 1. We realize, of course, that everybody very conscious about now, right this very second, but we'd like to have a word or two for a moment about 1972. Any baseball fans who were not season box or season reserve seat fans in 71 can get themselves on a priority list for the 1972 season right now. Current season ticket holders need not apply, but those who wish to become season fans next year can just drop a line to Season Box, care of the Dodgers, Dodger Stadium. Bottom of the 4th inning, and Earl Williams will start it off, followed by Mike Lum and Darrell Evans. 2-1 Braves. Sutton into the windup, and Don delivers. And a breaking ball is hit on 2 bounces to Will. Maury is up with it and throws him out. 1 away. The Reds went out in the 4th inning, so the Giants come up in the top of the 5th, with the Reds holding on to a 3-2 lead. Mike Lum struck out in the 2nd inning. Mike 0 for 1. 3 night games at home with Houston, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And, of course, Thursday night, Fan Appreciation Night. Sutton ready, and a change is swung on and missed. Lum way out in front of it, and the count 0-1. Atlanta 2, Dodgers 1. Bottom of the 4th. Sutton into the windup, and the strike 1 pitch. Another one that floats away, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Boy, these are tough times for both clubs, particularly for the Dodgers, who are behind and running out of time. 1-1 pitch. Fastball, chased and missed, strike 2. 1-2 to Mike Lum. On deck, Darrell Evans. Sutton reading Sims. Don brushing, now goes to his windup. And the 1-2 pitch coming up to Mike Lum. Fastball fouled away. That'll carry to the press box. It's still 1-2. Braves leading the Dodgers 2-1 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Sutton into the windup. Don's 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball is swung on and missed. Strike 3. 5 strikeouts for Don Sutton. 2 down in the fourth. And Darrell Evans, left-hand hitting third baseman, coming up. Say, look for the special Schlitz 16-ounce bottle display most everywhere. Evans from Pasadena. He had a big day against Bill Singer. He had a single and 2 home runs. Evans, hitting .242, has 11 home runs overall and 37 runs batted in. Sutton delivers, big curveball, but he missed inside with it, ball 1. Giants trailing 3-2, and in the fifth inning, Tito Fuentes has just opened up with a single. One thing, the Giants are hitting Gullett. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Evans. In for a strike, and the count 1-1. The Dodgers didn't hit the ball hard against Gullett, but the Giants, I think, have 4 doubles, among others. But the Reds are still leading 3-2. The 1-1 pitch to Evans, fastball high, ball 2, 2-1. Sutton reading Sims. Evans waiting with Sonny Jackson on deck. Now down to the windup in the 2-1 pitch. Change, swung on and missed, strike 2. Two and 2. Evans backs out for a moment. Now Darrell back in. Sims wigwagging a few signs out and now sets a target. And Sutton a long look. Now he's ready. 2-2 pitch to Darrell Evans. Breaking ball, half swing foul. Rolled it into the Dodger dugout. Retrieved by Danny Ozark, so it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Braves scored twice in the third. Jackson singled. Sacrificed to second. Millan scored him. Millan went to third on a bad throw by Mota, and Garr singled him home. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball belted to right field. That should go. Carver to the fence. It's gone. So Darrell Evans hits his 12th home run of the year, and that's 3 against the Dodgers. And the Braves are once again leading by 2. 3-1 Atlanta. And the batter will be Sonny Jackson. Sutton does not have that good a fastball, apparently. Evans hit one, and Jackson pulled his fastball for a base hit in the third inning. Fastball is on the inside corner for a strike. He has struck out 5. The count 0-1. Also, Felix Millan hit an 0-2 fastball for a base hit to drive in a run. No balls and 1 strike. The count is Sonny Jackson. Sutton into the windup. Don delivers. Curve inside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. For Don Sutton, that's the 10th home run he has allowed. He is low man on the staff. And for a starting pitcher, extremely low. 1-1 pitch to Jackson. Fastball low, ball 2. 3-1 in favor of Atlanta. 3-2 in favor of Cincinnati. We're in the bottom of the fourth. They're in the top of the fifth. Don reading Sims. Now to the windup in the 2-1 pitch to Jackson. As a fastball popped in the air, Maury Wills coming in from shortstop behind the mound and makes the catch. However, damage is done. 1 run, 1 hit, and the score at the end of 4. Braves 3, Dodgers 1.
Alka-Seltzer brings you an Alka-Seltzer story.
Came to this little place. Waiter says, "Try this. You'll like it." "What's this?" "Try it. You'll like it." "But what is try it? You'll like it." So I tried it. Thought I was gonna die. Took 2 Alka-Seltzer.
For headache and acid indigestion, no aspirin or antacid alone can possibly relieve you in as many ways as Alka-Seltzer.
Alka-Seltzer works. Try it. You'll like it.
Even if you love fish, you may not like thawing and cooking it. We make Vandy Camp's frozen French fried halibut, so you don't have to. We take beautiful big chunks of flaky white northern halibut, dip them in egg and milk batter, deep fry them to a golden crusted perfection. All you do is heat it up and love it.
Vandicam's frozen French fried halibut. We don't compromise when we make it, so you don't have to apologize when you serve it.
Fifth inning with the Braves leading the Dodgers 3-1. Don Sutton will start it off, followed by Maury Wills and Bill Buckner. The Giants went out in the top of the fifth, so the Reds are at bat in the bottom of the fifth inning. Cincinnati leading San Francisco 3-2. Sutton takes a strike at the plate, 0-1. Don popped up in his only trip. He's 0-1. Ron Reed making things difficult for the Dodgers. Big right-hander comes back with a fastball that's over, strike 2. Dodgers blew a chance to get even in the fourth inning. Allen walked, and with one out, Mota tripled, but they couldn't get Mota home from third. Sutton fouls the next one away. Sims hit a shot, but right at Henry Aaron. And then Valentine popped up. Evans has just homered to give the Braves a 2-run lead again, 3-1. Now the strike 2 pitch on the way. Ground ball by the mound down to Millan. Felix up with it. Throws to first for the out. And let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
The Good Son. KTAR Phoenix.
Maury Wills has grounded to short and single to left. 1 for 2. Wills hitting about 298 as a left-handed batter. 280 overall. He takes high, ball 1, 1-0. Reed has had very good control. He's been right on the plate. Big right-hander's 1-0 pitch is outside, ball 2, 2-0. Reed working from the first base side of the rubber into the windup, and the 2-0 pitch to Wills is lifted to center field. Sonny Jackson is right there. The center fielder comes up and makes the catch. 2 down in the fifth inning, and Bill Buckner approaching the plate. Atlanta leading the Dodgers 3-1, top of the fifth inning. The Reds leading the Giants 3-2, bottom of the fifth inning. Bill Buckner grounded out, fouled out. Reed delivers very high. Ball 1, 1-0. Ron Reed from LaPorte, Indiana. Played basketball for the Detroit Pistons, went to college at Notre Dame. His 1-0 pitch to Bill Buckner. Fastball hit to right center field. Jackson on the move. He's there and makes the catch. So a long out to right center. Sonny Jackson making a fine play, and the Dodgers are gone in the fifth inning, and at the end of 4 1/2. Braves 3, Dodgers 1.
It's not only what he does, but how he does it. Now, that's another way of saying a certain athlete has a lot of spirit. And it's pretty much the same way you'd say a Union 76 dealer has spirit, too. Because no matter what a Union 76 man does for you, you'll probably find he does it with a friendliness and courtesy that makes his place a pleasure to drive into. Simple things like giving directions or putting a little air in that front tire are as important to him as they are to you. He knows that a lot of friendly help with the small problems brings you back when your car needs the other things that make it go. Doing business with a smile, that's a Union 76 man's way of doing things. If you'd like that kind of friendly service, drive in and sample our spirit. The spirit of 76 lives at Union Oil.
Bottom of the fifth inning with the Braves leading the Dodgers 3-1. 3 runs, 4 hits for Atlanta. The Dodgers 1 run, 3 hits, and an error. Don Sutton and Ron Reed. Tomorrow, Claude Osteen and George Stone. They're in the bottom of the 5th inning at Cincinnati, and the Reds are leading the Giants 3-2. So these are tough times indeed for both clubs. Marty Perez, Ron Reed, and Felix Millan in that order. Sutton, who has been a victim of a fastball, and he evidently is unable to put it in the right spot, even though he has struck out 5. Don delivers, fastball, whacked to left field, but foul and going well back into the seats. It's a reasonably good fastball. It's not the kind to strike out a lot of people. He's been getting those mostly with breaking balls. 0-1 the count. Marty Perez struck out in the 3rd inning. Sutton into the windup, and Don strike 1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball that dipped low. 1 ball, 1 strike. So the Reds are out in front 3-0, and the Giants came fighting back, piled up a couple of doubles to get 2. And that's the story. 3-2 Reds, bottom of the 5th. 3-1 Braves, bottom of the 5th. Perez takes a breaking ball for a strike, and the count 1-2. The Dodgers have not been hitting Ron Reed hard at all, except for Mota's triple and Buckner's long out. They have not hit the ball hard. Sutton checking with Duke Sims. Now Don ready in the 1-2 pitch on the way. Curve in the dirt. Ball 2. The Reds got their 3 runs on home runs. Lee May, Hal McRae, and George Foster. 2-2 to Marty Perez. Sutton into the windup. Don ready, and here he comes. Fastball and a high fly ball to left field, but it's playable. Mota goes back, but he's there now and makes the catch for the out. So 1 away, bottom of the 5th inning, and Ron Reed coming up. He had a sacrifice in the 3rd inning. It paid off. He got Jackson to second base, and Millan single got him home. Reed has 11 hits, 3 RBIs. Don Sutton to the windup. The fastball is whacked to right center. Boy, they're not fooling anybody with that pitch. Davis goes back and makes the catch for the out. But his fastball isn't doing it. 2 down, and Felix Millan the batter. Millan fouled out. Then in the 3rd inning, with a runner at second and 2 out, Sutton broke off 2 good curveballs, and he had to count 0-2. But Millan, who's about as tough as anybody in the league to strike out, then got that fastball 0-2 and drilled it to left for the base hit to drive in a run. So Felix at the plate. Sims settles low behind the plate, and Sutton looks in. When the Dodgers bat in the 6th, they will have Davis, Allen, and Crawford. Sutton's first pitch is low, ball 1. 1-0 to Felix Millan. The Reds failed to score in the bottom of the 5th inning, so the Giants will come up in the 6th. Reds 3, Giants 2. Pitch to Millan, strike, and the count 1-1. Felix Millan, a remarkable hitter. He has struck out only 22 times in almost 570 at-bats. 1-1 pitch. Fastball, whack to left. Back goes Mota. It's over his head. It's going to be hitting the fence. And into second base with a stand-up double is Felix Millan. And Sutton is not getting people out with a bread-and-butter pitch. They are drilling that fastball. And now here's Ralph Garr. Five hits for the Braves. Almost all of the hits have been on a fastball. Jackson pulled a fastball for a base hit, and that was a tip-off that Sutton was not throwing very hard because Sonny is not a pull hitter. Millan hit a fastball to drive in a run. Evans hit a fastball for a home run, and Millan has just hit a fastball for a double, and the Dodger bullpen will get busy. Ralph Garr robbed of a hit by Willie Davis and singled. Sutton's change is over his head. Ball 1. Hoyt Wilhelm and Doyle Alexander begin to throw in the Dodger bullpen. 3-1 Atlanta, bottom of the fifth. Don set at the belt, a backward glance at Felix Millan. Now the pitch to Ralph Garr. Fastball, swung on and missed. A throw to Wills, but Millan back to the bag. 1-1, the count to Ralph Garr. Ralph back up to the plate. He is 1 for 2 today. Garr has 213 hits. Sutton ready, and the 1-1 change is a big bouncer up the middle, backhanded by Valentine, who throws too late. So Garr legs it out, and with 2 down, runners at first and third. And the Braves leading 3-1. Here comes Henry Aaron. So Henry Aaron checks in with runners at first and third, 2 out in the 5th inning. The Braves leading 3-1, and a chance to break it wide open with the hammer at the plate. He is struck out and lined out to left. Millan down the line from third. Garr away from first, held on by Buckner. And it's the moment of truth for Don Sutton. There goes Garr, and the fastball is fouled away. 0-1. So they had Garr going. Ralph has stolen 29 bases. And hold everything. Walter Olson comes out to the mound. Sutton, as we said, does not have a good fastball. He has struck out 5. And Olson making his way to the mound. Aaron at the plate, Earl Williams to follow. The Reds holding on to a slim 3-2 lead against the Giants in the top of the 6th inning. Wills stays at his position. Bobby Valentine comes in to see the subject under discussion. White Wilhelm and Pete Mickelson are in the Dodger bullpen. The Braves, who have beaten the Dodgers 5 out of 7 here in Atlanta, giving them a bad time today. All right, Austin has had his say to Don Sutton. Sutton has given Aaron everything he has, including a blooper pitch in the 1st inning, and he threw it over for a strike. Aaron struck out in the 1st inning, went after a bad ball, hit a line drive at Manny Mota in the 3rd, and the count to Aaron is 0-1. Millan down the line from 3rd, Garr at first, 2 out, 5th inning, 3-1 Braves, Aaron waiting. Sutton deals a balloon, and he missed inside with it. That's that blooper pitch. So he's 1 for 2 with it. With the kind of a fastball that Sutton has today, Aaron's liable to hit it out of Georgia. And Sutton has to be very careful. Down at the belt, 1-1 pitch. Another balloon, and he missed with it. Ball 2, 2-1. It's a Junior Ephus pitch. Rip Sewell used to throw one very high. Sutton's does not arc quite as much. Here's a 2-1 pitch to Aaron. Breaking ball, low. Ball 3. Henry started off and held up. 3-1 to Aaron. Big Earl Williams on deck. So Sutton is minus one of his big pitches, and he's laboring. Don at the belt. Now the 3-1 pitch. Breaking ball, grounded to Wills. He backs up, gloves it, goes to Valentine for the 4th. So if I had to guess the subject, it was do not throw Aaron a fastball. He threw him bloopers and breaking balls, and he hit into the 4th. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. And at the end of 5, Braves 3, Dodgers 1.
Schlitz, Milwaukee and the world. You know you only go around once in life. Second chances aren't part of the game. So you go for all the gusto you can. Even in the beer you drink. Schlitz. Why settle for less? When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
Fan Appreciation Night is September the 30th, and here's some great prizes. Here are just some of them. Union All Auto Script, Farmer John Hands, 15 Dressmaker Zigzag sewing machines from Sewing Distributors, AM/FM 8-band radio from Henry Roeder Imports, 10 copies of the new baseball book, The Great Game from Pickwick Bookstores, 10 baseballs autographed by the Apollo 15 crew. Other gifts, well, that'd be a trip to Copenhagen on SAS Scandinavian Airlines, a trip for two to New York with a weekend of shows, flying aboard a TWA 747, or a round trip for two to San Juan, Puerto Rico, aboard an American Airlines luxury liner, or a round trip for a couple to Hawaii aboard a United Airlines 747 featuring Trader Vic meal service. These are just some of the prizes waiting for fans at Fan Appreciation Night at Dodger Stadium. Final night of the year, September the 30th. Here's some more. A Toro Power lawnmower from Pennsylvania Lawn and Garden Shop. A Kawasaki mini bike from Kawasaki Motors. 2 dozen 2-pound boxes of Whitman's assorted chocolate. Dinner for 6 at Lowry's. Dinner for 6 at a Hungry Tiger restaurant of your choice. There'll be gift certificates from Sears and Roebuck, merchandise certificates from Florsheim and Goods Barnett, a man's Rolex brick watch with bracelet from B.D. Howes & Son on Wilshire Boulevard, 30 Andy William records from Columbia Records, a gold pin of a ball player at bat from California Jewelsmith, a cassette tape recorder from Panasonic, auto cassette from Tiac Corporation of America, a dozen Knutson cookbooks, luggage by Peckel's, and many other prizes. We've really got them. So make your plans and be with us on the 30th. The Giants got a run in the 6th inning as Willie Davis grounds one just foul outside of first. The Giants are still hitting in the 6th inning, and they have tied up the game with the Reds 3-3. Meanwhile, the Dodgers are laboring here in Atlanta. The Braves are leading 3-1. So last night, the Giants got out in front, and the Reds came from behind to beat them. Today, the Reds got out in front. The Giants have come up to tie. Reed delivers in the dirt, and it bounces to the backstop, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Willie Davis has singled and grounded out, 1 for 2. 6th inning, 3-1 Braves. Reed delivers in the dirt, and it bounces to the backstop, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Willie Davis has singled and grounded out, 1 for 2. 6th inning, 3-1 Braves. Dodgers struggling to stay alive in the pennant race. Reed looks into Earl Williams. Darrell Evans plays up in on the grass at third, and the outfield shaded around to right. Ron's 1-1 pitch. A fastball hits the right center field, but not deep enough, and Mike Lum is right there to make the catch. So Davis, the fly ball to right, 1 away. Richie Allen has struck out and walked, 0 for 1. 3 runs, 6 hits for Atlanta. 1 run, 3 hits for the Dodgers. They're not hitting the ball hard at all against Reed. He's in strong command thus far. The pitch to Richie Allen is high, ball 1. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way to Richie Allen, taken high, ball 2. Don Gullett, who was absolutely overpowering against the Dodgers. There was a mismatch the night he pitched against them. He also had 9 runs to work with. He has to leave that game against the Giants. Wayne Granger is picking up for him. That game is tied 3-3 in the 6th. Allen swings and misses 2-1. Dietz scored on an error by Tony Perez. We know that much to get that ball game even. 2-1. The count to Richie Allen. Reed into the windup, and Ron's 2-1 change is whacked to left center, racing over his gar, but that'll go through to the base of the fence. Allen into second base standing with his 24th double. He got a changeup, and he drilled it into left center field. So a one-out double by Richie Allen will bring up Willie Crawford. So the Dodgers have 4 hits, and 2 of them for extra bases. Mota tripled in the only run, and Allen has just doubled. Willie Crawford grounded out and hit into a fourth play, 0 for 2. The Braves bullpen will get busy. Reed delivers, and Crawford takes outside, ball 1. Jim Nash and Steve Barber begin to throw in the Atlanta bullpen. 1 ball and no strikes to Willie Crawford. Reed looked at Allen. The fastball fouled away by Willie, and the count 1-1. Crawford's struggling. His average has dipped below the 280 mark. It's to 279. And he's 0 for 2 today. Crawford went 0 for 3 last night. 3-1 Atlanta. 6th inning. 3-3 Giants Reds, bottom of the 6th. The 1-1 pitch to Crawford is too low. Ball 2. 2-1 the count. So Wayne Granger is now pitching against the Giants, relieving Don Gullett. Two balls and 1 strike to count to Willie Crawford. Reed, hands on his knees, reading signs. Now Ron straightens up, looks at Allen. 2-1 pitch is sliced foul down the left field line, out of play. That'll go into the stands behind the Dodger bullpen, and the count 2-2. The pitching at Cincinnati now, Wayne Granger for the Reds, Don McMahon for the Giants. That game all even, 3-3, bottom of the 6th inning. We're in the top of the 6th, 3-1 Atlanta. 2-2 to Crawford. Reed looks at Allen, and then Ron backs off the rubber. Reed back up on top, but Crawford backed out. Richie Allen at second base, 1 away. 2-2 pitch to Crawford is a ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. Allen takes 1 look, and he'll score easily. So the Dodgers are now down 3-2. Willie Crawford at first base, and Manny Mota the batter. Willie Crawford singles up the middle to pick up his 40th RBI, and the batter is Mota. Mota struck out and tripled home a run, but the Dodgers left him at third. That was a big play in the 4th inning. Mota lines 1 to center. That's a base hit, a bad hop, and a great catch by Jackson, and pulled on it is Crawford, but he goes to third as the throw is way offline. Crawford committed himself because of the bad hop, and Jackson made a great leaping catch. But then when Sonny tried to throw to third, he was way offline. The Dodgers now have runners at first and third with 1 out. Tying run again at third base with 1 away, and once again Duke Sims is asked to get it home. He failed the last time. That ball came within a whisker of bouncing over Jackson's head. It bounced above his head. He made a great leaping one-hand catch. The field here in Atlanta is in terrible shape. It really is. It's just a shame. Okay, Mota at first, Crawford at third, 1 out in the 6th, 3-2 Atlanta. Reed delivers in the dirt, smothered nicely by Earl Williams, ball 1. So the Dodgers had a look at tying up the game in the 4th, but couldn't do it. Now they have a golden opportunity in the 6th. With 1 out, Allen doubled, and singles by Crawford and Mota have put them in business. First and third. The 1-0 pitch to Sims is taken for a strike. 1-1. Duke Sims hit a home run against Ron Reed last Sunday. It's probably one of the big reasons why he is in the lineup, along with resting Tom Haller. Haller is in the Dodger dugout and could be used as a pinch hitter now. Alexander is throwing in the Dodger pen. 1-1 the count to Sims. Reed at the belt. Ron delivers. And there's a drive into deep right center field. Back goes Jackson. Away back. It's gone. A 3-run home run for Duke Sims. Duke Sims hits a 3-run home run, and he is mobbed in the Dodger dugout for the Duker, his 4th home run. Gives him 22 RBIs. The Dodgers have scored 4 times in the 6th inning, and Ron Reed is gone. The Dodgers now lead 5-3. 2 $10 books of Union All Auto strips to Duke Sims, and 2 $10 books of Union All Auto strips to the Dorcas Ranch Home Incorporated, 23500 Dorcas Lane in Nuevo, California. And a downcast Ron Reed goes out. I'll say one thing. He didn't lose on a cheapie. Sims hit the ball almost center field, just to the deep side of the scoreboard, and he bombed it, a good 400-footer. Jim Nash will be called in from the bullpen to pitch to Bobby Valentine. So the Dodgers were down 3-1. They now lead 5-3, and Nash will be pitching to Bobby Valentine. So Sims, who homered against Reed in Los Angeles, applies a knockout shot to Reed today. Meanwhile, in Cincinnati, the Giants and the Reds are tied up 3-3 in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Giant broadcasters, Lon Simmons and Bill Thompson, listening to us, and we're doing the same to them. So we got a party line going from Cincinnati to Atlanta to Los Angeles to San Francisco. It's the tale of 4 cities, not 2. And Jim Nash heating up now to go against Bobby Valentine, who is 0 for 2. Jim Nash is 9-7 with the league, ERA of 5. And for Ron Reed, that was the 26th home run that he allowed this year. Nico has allowed 27. Bobby Valentine, 0 for 2, coming up here in the 6th inning. The Dodgers have scored 4 times and lead the Braves 5-3. Nash picking up for Reed. Reed went 5 1/3 innings. Valentine pops one foul down along the right field line. Aaron going over to the top roller and one-hands it just as nice as you please. Fine play by Henry. 2 away, and Sutton coming up, leading 5-3. But Don has a long road to travel, and he doesn't have much of a fastball, so it'll be very interesting to see just how far he can go. Sutton has popped up and grounded out, 0 for 2. Jim Nash delivers, fastball, slash foul down into the Braves bullpen, and the count 0-1. Jim Nash is an Atlanta boy. Actually, he's from nearby Marietta, suburb of Atlanta. Jim ready without a windup. Strike 1 pitch, fastball in there. Strike 2, 0-2. It's ironic. Yesterday, Don Sutton was out at the ballpark very early, showing Jim Nash how he's been pitching. And now it's Nash trying to get Sutton out here. Don fouls the next one away, and the count 0-2. The other day, Jim Brewer was out, showing young Mike McQueen how he throws his screwball. There's a line drive to right field. Lum comes up and one-hands it for the out. In the 6th inning, the Dodgers get 4 runs, 4 hits, and at the end of 5.5 innings, Dodgers 5, Braves 3.
When a team hits right, pitches right, and feels right, you're apt to hear the expression, they put it all together. It's a good way to describe Farmer John's sausage making, too. There isn't a thing Farmer John overlooks in making his sausage right. He uses only Eastern corn-fed pork, the very best for flavor and tenderness. He brings the porkers out here live. and the meat's U.S. inspected and dressed fresh here in the West, which makes Parmesan sausage days fresher than sausage shipped in frozen or cold storage. Then Parmesan uses the right seasonings, not artificial seasonings, but costly natural herbs and spices he imports from abroad. Finally, Parmesan seasons his sausage to an old-time Western recipe to give it a fabulous Western flavor like no other you've ever tried. So you see, in making his sausage, Parmesan really does put it all together to bring you a winner for breakfast or supper. Serve Parmesan sausage soon. You'll agree it's the easternmost in quality and the westernmost in flavor.
As we go to the bottom of the sixth inning with the Dodgers leading the Braves 5-3, thanks to the 3-run home run by Duke Sims, we get a report out of Cincinnati that Hal McRae has just hit a 3-run home run for the Reds, and the Reds are now leading the Giants 6-3. So the Reds are leading 6-3, the Dodgers are leading 5-3, and we're in the bottom of the sixth inning in each game. Don Sutton getting ready to pitch to Earl Williams, then to Mike Lum and Darrell Evans. Madness, isn't it? Williams fly to center, grounded to short. He's 0 for 2. Sutton, both feet on the rubber, waiting for Duke Sims to settle in a crouch behind the plate. Big Earl waiting, and let's see how Sutton pitches. The Dodgers, you can bet, will be watching him very carefully. Breaking ball fouled away, 0-1. He has a good breaking ball and a reasonable change. He's even thrown a couple of blooper pitches to Henry Aaron. But the fastball has really hurt him. He has struck out 5, but all the hitting in the 3 runs have been the result of the fastball. Don ready, and the strike 1 pitch on the way. Fastball inside, and the count 1-1. It would appear to be fairly good velocity on the fastball, but he's in trouble apparently wherever he puts it. Don reading Sims, Big Williams waiting. Sutton's 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 2. He got that in a good spot, in on the hand. The Dodgers 5 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. The Braves 3 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. 1-2, the count, Earl Williams. Sutton ready, and Don delivers. Curveball got him looking, and he really set him up with that fastball. Broke off the curve, and the big catcher goes down. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
The Good Son. KTAR Phoenix.
Here's Mike Lum with 1 out in the 6th inning. He takes the fastball for a strike. 5-3 Dodgers, bottom of the 6th. 6-3 Reds at the end of 6. Giants coming up in the 7th. Sutton reading Sims. Don to the windup, and the strike 1 pitch. Fastball away, 1-1. Braves led 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. The Dodgers lead 5-3. The Reds led 3-0, 3-2. Then it was tied 3-3. There's a bouncer up the middle. Base hit for Mike Lum. Ball juggled by Willie Davis, but he gets it back in. Now McRae's 3-run home run for the second time today has given the Reds a 3-run lead, 6-3. All right, Lum, a 1-out single, and the batter is Darrell Evans. Sutton has allowed 7 hits. Jim Brewer gets up in the Dodger bullpen. Don is pitching a shaky game. He is not in strong command, despite the fact he's leading by 2. Evans, left-hand hitting third baseman, looks at a fastball for a strike. He hit a fastball for a home run in the 4th inning. Darrell struck out in the 2nd inning. Left-hander Steve Barber gets up again in the Atlanta bullpen, so Barber and Brewer are throwing. The strike 1 pitch, over, shoulder high, and Evans thought it was too high. He growls a little at Felacutis. 0-2. The count to Darrell Evans. Mike Lum at first. Buckner back of him. Bottom of the sixth inning, one away. Now Sutton straightens up. Evans waiting in the strike two pitch. Curveball, low, ball one. 1-2. Duke Sims, I think, stepped on Pellicuta's right foot. 1-2. In the Dodger bullpen, Hoyt Wilhelm is throwing with Jim Brewer. So knuckleballs and screwballs in the Dodger bullpen. Sutton ready. Evans waiting. The 1-2 pitch to Dow. Curve low. Ball two. 2-2. Mike Lum at first. One out in the sixth. 5-3 Dodgers. They're in the seventh inning at Cincinnati. The Reds are leading the Giants 6-3. Now Sutton ready, and his 2-2 pitch coming up. A change, ground ball wide to first. Valentine can't get it. It goes into right field, and Lum will go to third. So Darrell Evans hits a change-up into right field, and the Braves are in business. They have runners at first and third with one out, and as we said, Sutton is not pitching one of those commanding or overpowering games at all. So the Dodgers are leading, but it's a very shaky lead. Sonny Jackson has singled and popped up, 1-2. Eight hits for the Braves now. Singles by Lum and Evans with one out. And Jackson, left-hand hitting center fielder, 1-2 at the plate. Richie Allen plays on the grass. Sutton out of his stretch, and Jackson fouls it back, 0-1. Don has a half a dozen strikeouts, but he's allowed 8 hits, 3 runs. After Jackson comes shortstop Marty Perez. Mike Lum down the line from third. Darrell Evans at first, held on by Bill Buckner. One out. The strike one pitch. Jackson slices one foul off third out of play. That goes over near the fence in front of the bullpen, and the count 0-2. Sutton actually thinking strikeout in this spot. Jackson is not that easy to strike out, however. Sonny, left-hand batter, waiting. Jackson has struck out only 40 times this year and 540 at-bats, so he's like Mian, extremely difficult to get. Sutton delivers, fastball low, ball one. Well, he had Evans 0-2, went 2-2, threw him a changeup, and Darrell singles. He had Jackson 0-2, and he's now 1-2 with Sonny. Sutton, hands on his knees, reading signs, now straightens up. And the 1-2 pitch to Sonny Jackson, fastball, pulled, a great stop by Buckner. He goes to the bag for the out, but scoring on the play is Lum. Bill Buckner took a cinch base hit away from Sonny Jackson. But the tying run is now at second base with 2 outs. So it took a great play by Buckner to keep Sutton out in front. You get the feeling that Don will not be around at the finish. So it's 5-4 in favor of the Dodgers. 2 out, and Marty Perez struck out, fly to left. Tying run at second base, and the person of Darrell Evans. Sutton looks back at second. Will's bird-dogging Darrell. The pitch to Perez, breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Don has excellent control. He hasn't walked anybody. He gets a lot of 2 strikes on people, but then he just can't come up with the big hit. The Giants are scratching away in the 7th inning. Dick Dietz has just scored Dave Kingman. That makes it Reds 6, Giants 4 in the 7th. Pickoff throw to Wills, but it was offline, and Evans back to the bag. So the Reds are leading the Giants 6-4. The Dodgers are leading the Braves 5-4. 2 out, 6th inning. Perez struck out, flied to left. He flied deep to left. On deck is Jim Nash. Sutton, hands at his sides, reading Duke Sims. Now Don ready. Strike one pitch, curveball, but it stayed up. 1-1. Sutton retired the first 6 men in the game. But since then, He's given up 8 hits and 4 runs in 3 2/3 innings. So he's struggling. He's running with a safe on his back. The 1-1 pitch to Marty Perez. Don delivers, breaking ball, a good one on the outside corner for a strike. 1-2. In Cincinnati, left-hander Joe Gibbon is now relieving Wayne Granger. The Reds leading the Giants 6-4, top of the 7th inning. 1-2 the count. Marty Perez, right-hand hitting shortstop at the plate. Sutton trying to get him and end the inning. Don ready, and the 1-2 pitch to Perez. Fastball, a half-swing foul into the seats just below it, and it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Marty Perez giving it a battle. Trying to pick up Darrell Evans. Dodgers 5, Braves 4. 2 out in the 6th. Perez choking on the bat, leans over the plate. Sutton straightens up and looks at Evans. Now Don's 1-2 pitch. Fastball, fouled away, off to the right, out of play. On a similar time in the 3rd inning, he was able to strike Perez out with a fastball. Five runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Dodgers. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Braves. In the bottom of the 6th inning, and the Braves with the tying run at second base. Sutton reading Sims. Now Don ready. And the 1-2 pitch to Perez. Fastball outside. Ball 2. Two and 2 to Marty. Outfield fanned out straight away. If anything, maybe skating just a dab towards right. Sutton struggling with Perez, 2 and 2. Now Don ready. Wills bird dogging Evans. The pitch to Perez, a breaking ball low. Ball 3. And this has been the Sutton pattern now, the last 3 innings. Getting 2 strikes on a hitter and then letting him get away. And he's gone full count to Perez. He might very well be deciding his own fate on this pitch. Because he's struggling. If he gets Perez, he's out of the inning. If he doesn't, he might be out of the game. We'll see. Don leading Sims, 3 and 2 to Perez. Sutton ready, looks back at Evans, and the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball is strike 3 called. A little slider. Perez was going to first base, thinking it was ball 4, and Talacuta said strike 3. So thanks to the play by Bill Buckner, the Dodgers are still out in front by a little. The Braves get 1 run, 2 hits. Jerry Dog will be back in a minute, and the score at the end of 6, Dodgers 5, Braves 4.
It is all over in Cincinnati. Raiders rounds out, and the Reds beat the Giants for the 2nd straight time, 6-5. And now if the Dodgers can hang on, they will really put the squeeze on. The Giants lose 6-5 in Cincinnati on a home run by McRae, his 2nd of the game in the 7th inning with 2 on. The Reds scored 3 on home runs. The Giants caught them, and then the 3-run homer in the 7th inning by McRae, and so the Giants lose 2 straight to the Reds. It is 6-5. The Dodgers trying to hang on here with Brewer pitching to Lum, Evans, and Jackson here at Atlanta. Lum has singled and struck out twice, so he's up now. And Brewer was touched up by Lum for a home run in Los Angeles last week, and then the Braves went on to win that game. So Brewer remembers that one. There's a bunt try towards third. Allen up with it. He's through. Got him. Good try by Lum, and Allen a good play, racing it on the grass to make the out. So Buck and Lum is out, and here is Evans coming up. Evans has a home run, a single, and he's struck out. So Darrell Evans from Pasadena up here now in the bottom of the 8th inning. Brewer came in and gave up a squib single to Garr on a high bouncer. Then he had to get Aaron and Williams with the tying run at 3rd and the winning run at 1st. He got Aaron to foul out to Allen, and he got Williams to fly out to center. Here's the pitch on the way to Jim. Fastball is a strike, 0-1. So Brewer, who has an earned run average of 196, is 6-5 on the year, trying to save this one against the Braves, and it's a big one. Here's a foul back, strike 2. Final score, the Reds have beaten the Giants, and it's on the scoreboard here now for the Dodgers to look at and know that they can come within one game of the Giants if they can hold on to a one-run lead here in Atlanta. 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to first. Buckner falls down up with it. Feeds to Brewer in time on a good play. So there are 2 down now as Buckner fell down, went to his knees, and fed to Brewer. 2 away as Evans grounds out, and here's Sonny Jackson. He is 1 for 3, has driven in a run and scored a run. So there are 2 outs in the 8th inning. Perez on deck, and then the pitcher's spot. Jackson waiting, Brewer ready, and here's his pitch. Fastball low, and it's 1 ball to no strikes to Jackson, who's had a great year hitting against the Dodgers. About a .450 average as he's up there right now. Brewer working on him with Perez on deck. Here's the look now, and Brewer set to go, the pitch on the way. Fastball for a strike at the knees, and it is 1-1. The Giants have lost, and we can concentrate on the final couple of innings here. We're in the 8th now. And Brewer working to Sonny Jackson with 2 outs. 1-1 count. Brewer into the windup, and down it comes. That foul off the third base side. Duke Sims over to pick it up. The margin in the game, a 3-run home run by Duke Sims in the 6th inning. With Crawford and Mota on, he hit it over the center field fence, slightly into right center, for his 4th home run of the year. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 men out. Bottom of the 8th inning in Atlanta. All right, Brewer checking again. Here's the windup, and the pitch on the way to Jackson. Foul out of play, and it's still a 1-2 count. Brewer tilted a little bit that time and gave him a slider. 1-2 to Jackson. And Brewer working to Sonny Jackson with 2 outs. 1-1 count. Brewer into the windup, and down it comes. Tap foul off the third base side. Duke Sims over to pick it up. The margin in the game, a 3-run home run by Duke Sims in the 6th inning. With Crawford and Mota on, he hit it over the center field fence, slightly into right center, for his 4th home run of the year. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 men out. Bottom of the 8th inning in Atlanta. All right, Brewer checking again. Here's the windup, and the pitch on the way to Jackson. Foul out of play, and it's still a 1-2 count. Brewer tilted a little bit that time and gave him a slider. 1-2 to Jackson. A left-hander working in the Atlanta bullpen now. If they get to the pitcher spot, they would go for another hitter. Jarvis is the pitcher in there now. Reed, Nash, Barber, and Jarvis. 5-4, Dodgers lead the Braves. The pitch to Jackson. Low with the breaking ball, 2-2. They tried to get him on a curve, and he missed with it. 2-2 count. Jim Brewer in his 54th game. Joe Moeller is in the bullpen. All right, 2-2. Now Brewer ready again to Jackson. Ground ball to the left side. Will, short hop, can't play it. It bounces off his chest, and Jackson is on. He tried to short hop. That's the only chance he had against the speedy runner, and it'll be an error on Will. Lamore tried to short hop, and it bounced up and hit him in the chest, and Jackson is at first base, and the batter will be Marty Perez, the shortstop. He has struck out, flat out, struck out. Perez has 4 home runs, 32 runs batted in. So the gate is open now for the Braves here in the 8th inning. With 2 outs, Will's trying to short hop a little chopper off the bat of Jackson. It was do or die. Runner going. Pitch swung on him. Sims with a throw down, and he's safe. Jackson steals it. So all of a sudden, the Braves have Sonny Jackson in scoring position on an error and a steal, and Evans swing and a miss. Jackson has not been running much this year. He has only 6 stolen bases, and he has been caught 6 times. Now that makes him 7 out of 13. So the error and the stolen base, and the Braves are trying to parlay it into a tying run. Brewer working to Perez with Jarvis on deck to pitch. In the dirt, knocked down by Sims. He lost it for a moment, now finds it at his feet. No advance by Jackson. Duke's first instinct was to turn and see where it was. A 1-1 count now. On the ball that Jackson hit, he's, of course, a speedy runner, and Wills had to try to short hop it, chopping it along to the left side. And he came in, and the ball didn't take the hop he looked for it. And so it bounced off his chest. The Dodgers' second error of the game. 5-4 score, 2 out. Brewer pitching, 1-1 count to Perez. Here it is. Fly ball to left field. Mota backs up a step. He has it. Right there in his sights. Makes the catch, and the inning is over. So the error did not hurt. No runs, no hits, 1 error. We'll go to the 9th inning, and Vin Scully will be along with more play. The score at the end of 8, Dodgers 5, Atlanta 4.
Chevrolet for 1972 is building you a better way to see the USA. Building you cars that excel in the comfort and handling you want for the open road, as well as the agility and convenience you want for your everyday driving. There are some visible improvements. The big Chevrolets, for example, have new front bumpers to provide added front-end protection. And there are some not-so-visible improvements in the power ventilation system, the pollution control, the shock absorbers. There are refinements like these in all the new Chevrolets, because they're all built with one thought in mind, to make your 72 Chevrolet the best car you ever owned.
Well, as we go to the 9th inning, we now go to a simulcast, both radio and TV, with the Dodgers leading the Braves. The Dodgers 5 runs, 9 hits, and 2 errors. The Braves 4 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. Pat Jarvis loosening up Earl Williams, and the Dodgers will have Maury Wills, Bill Buckner, and Willie Davis. Crowd reacting to a football score down here in the South, Auburn, Tennessee. Wills has 2 hits. He's 2 for 4. So 9th inning, 5-4 Dodgers. The Giants have lost, and what a big one this has turned out to be. So Pat Jarvis, the 4th Atlanta pitcher, delivers and gets the strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Wills, Buckner, Davis, 5-4 in the 9th. When the Braves hit in the bottom of the 9th, they'll have the pitcher's spot, Millan and Gar. The pitch to Wills outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Steve Garvey will begin loosening up in the Dodger bullpen. Garvey will go to third base in the bottom of the 9th. And no doubt Wes Parker will take over at first. Wills swings and doesn't get it, and the count 1-2. Maury Wills spearheading the Dodgers here in the 9th inning. Pat Jarvis ready, and the 1-2 pitch to Maury. Foul back to the screen. The Braves led 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. The Dodgers led 5-3, and now 5-4. We've seen Reed, Nash, Barber, and now Jarvis. The 1-2 pitch, the ground ball to the right side. Millan handles it, flips to Aaron in time, and they get Wills, 1 away. That brings up Bill Buckner. Buckner has handled himself very well at first base and made a key play in the 6th inning. He took a base hit away from Sonny Jackson that might very well, had it gone through, led to the tying run. As a batter, Buckner is 0 for 3 with a sacrifice, and he takes ball 1. He's hit 1 ball hard. Sonny Jackson flagged his drive in right center field back in the 5th inning. 1-0 to Bill Buckner. Jarvis delivers high, ball 2, 2-0. Pat Jarvis from Carlisle, Illinois. If you're going to be a Brave, that's a pretty good spot to come from. 2-0 the count to Buckner. Pat comes back with a fastball that's fouled away, out of play, and the count 2-1. A tremendous day today and more tomorrow. The Giants will get Gary Nolan. The Dodgers will face George Stone. Two balls and 1 strike to Bill Buckner. 1 away in the 9th, 5-4 Dodgers. Now the 2-1 pitch in there for a strike, 2-2. Garvey is getting ready in the pen to play third. Willie Davis on deck. Jarvis checks with Earl Williams. Now Pat to the windup. Right-hander delivers a change-up. Swung on and missed. What a great pitch he just made. A 2-2 change, and Buckner was way out in front of it. First strikeout for Jarvis. And with 2 down, top of the 9th inning, the batter is Willie Davis. Willie single to left, grounded out twice and flied to right. 1 for 4. To repeat, when the Braves come up in the bottom of the 9th, they have Jarvis spot. They might hit Hal King, left-hand hitting catcher. Then they have Millan and Gar. Davis takes a look, and it's a strike 0-1. And, of course, if anybody gets on, Henry Aaron. 0-1 to Willie Davis. 5-4 Dodgers in the 9th. 2 outs. Jarvis ready, and Pat comes right back 0-1. And the fastball jumps in there. Strike 2. And Davis a little angry at Falakutis. He thought the pitch was outside. 0-2. Pat Jarvis just waiting for Willie to get back in the box.
Come on, Willie. Come on.
No balls, 2 strikes to count to Davis. Jarvis ready, and here he comes. Change, foul back, and he got it really down. Willie had to go after it. Still 0-2. Five, 4 Dodgers, 2 down, top of the 9th. Strike 2 pitch to Davis. Chased it and struck out. Looked like a fastball up around the eyes at least, and down he goes. Okay, at the end of 8.5 innings, Dodgers 5, Braves 4.
There's one thing that all great athletes have in common, no matter what their sport, and that is their spirit. The spirit to make one more effort, to try a little harder than the other guy. And well, the folks at Union 76 believe that the same kind of spirit can be put to work making a gasoline. Take Super 76, for example. Now, this is Union's premium blend. They've put 5 different engine cleaners into Super 76 when 2 or 3 might have done the job. But the people at Union 76 don't like to just get by. And that's what the spirit of 76 is all about. Those 5 engine cleaners are there because Union Oil feels that's what it takes to do an effective job of keeping critical engine areas clean. Intake valves, exhaust valves, spark plugs, carburetors, anti-pollution valves. Keeping an engine clean means it's going to run better, longer, and the cleaner the engine, the less pollution it creates. So start doing yourself and your car a favor now. Get the spirit. The spirit of 76 lives at Union Oil.
As we go to the bottom of the 9th inning here in Atlanta, the left-hand hitting catcher, Hal King, will hit for Jarvis. So Hal King, followed by Millan and Gar. The Dodgers make a couple of changes. Wes Parker takes over at first base, but since Allen did not get a chance to swing the bat in the 9th, Ritchie stays in the game at third base. So Garvey, who had gone to the pen to warm up, did not come in. Put Parker in Buckner's spot if you're scoring. King hits a looper into right field. It's going to be a base hit. Up with the ball is Crawford. So Hal King, a dunker, and he'll give way to Leo Foster, an infielder who will run for him. And so this one is still very much alive. A little looping single. We'll pause for station identification. You are viewing on Channel 11 KTTV and listening on the Dodger Radio Network.
The good sound, KTAR, Phoenix.
Halftime football score, ASU 14, University of Utah 7. The time is 2 o'clock.
Felix Millan is 3 for 4 today. We'll see if he's bunting or hitting. Brewer decides to go to first base, where Leo Foster steps back on the bag. So a bloop single by Hal King, and this one is still very much alive. Brewer ready. Mian is bunting. And it's caught, juggled, and dropped in fair ground. They could get a double play. One to Wills. Back to Valentine. Double play. Duke Sims caught the ball and dropped it in fair ground. The ball was very much alive. And Duke threw to Wills, who threw to Valentine for a double play. On television, we could see Sims, and it went out in front of the plate. When he realized the possible double play, he didn't hesitate. He threw to Wills. Wills then threw over to first base to Valentine, and a double play in the butt. And the Braves are furious. Eddie Matthews and Luman Harris are nose to nose with Chris Palakoutis, but Palakoutis has called it. It was a little bunt. Sims appeared to catch it, juggled it, and then it dropped in fair ground, and the Dodgers have gotten a double play on it. The play went 2-6-4, and the Braves are beside themselves. So Matthews and Harris are furious. Sims just quietly standing aside, thinking catcher's thoughts. Delivers screwball, slice to left field. Going over is Wills. Coming up is Mota. Mota in foul ground for the catch. And the Dodgers are one game back of the Giants as Jim Brewer gets Ralph Garr for the last out. And the big play, of course, the little bunt that was turned into a double play. Once again, the final score of the ball game, the Dodgers 5 and the Braves 4.